الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, it's your brother Musa, inshallah ta'ala. We will continue with our basic fiqh, classes. Today we only have one question because it's a little bit lengthy, so we'll just suffice with that, inshallah ta'ala. Um, After we have done the wajibat, the obligatory acts of the salah, today we are doing recommended acts. This, if you do them, uh, you have a reward, and if you don't do them, there is no blame on you. And for the wajibat of the salah that we did, those, if you don't do that, you have to make sujood sahw. You have to prostrate to prostration after you have either you have made the taslim on before you make the taslim. Okay, all right. You have to do that as a must. But this one, if you don't do them, there is nothing on you. All right. That's why they are called what the Sunnahs of Salah, which are the um, um the sunnahs of the prayer, meaning that they do not affect your prayer if you leave them. And also we have, as we have learned before the wajibat, meaning the obligatory acts of the salah, we also learned of the arkan of salah, which we spoke about the Fatiha, all right? Um, Meaning that if you leave the ruku, all right, then your prayer will be invalid. All right. There is no making to um any prostration after you have done the salah. There's no sujudu sah now. There's in no sujudu sah now. So this is we have to differentiate that. The the pillars of the prayer is a must. If you leave one, then your prayer is invalid. The wajib of the prayer, if you miss something, then you can what? You can make two prostration after you've done with the prayer. And this sunnah of uh of the prayer, if you don't do them, then you're not blameworthy. Your prayer is valid, but if you do them, of course, you have a reward. It's just something in introduction I just wanna state before we get into the sunnah of salah, meaning the sunnah of the prayer. So the question says, ما هي سنن الصلاة? First, also the sunnah of the salah, we have sunan al-qawliya, sunan al-fi'liya. So we have things that you have to say and certain things that you have to, certain action that you have to do during the prayer. All right. So here, the first category, we'll look at it in two categories: things that you have to what say and things that you have to what action that you have to do during the prayer, which I also consider as what the sunnah of the salah. And again, during the arkan, the pillars, the obligatory acts of the prayer, and this recommended how the sunnah of the prayer, all of this makes what your prayer will be what perfect. Okay, so it's not something that we have to neglect. We have to what try to do them so that we get what more reward. Now, so he said, إحدى عشرة كما يلي يعني السنن القولية. قوله بعد التكبيرة الإحرام سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك. ويسمى دعاء الاستفتاح، التعوذ، البسملة، قول آمين، قراءة السورة بعد الفاتحة، الجهر بالقراءة للإمام، القول بعد التحميد يعني بعد سمع الله لمن حمد ربنا ولك الحمد، ملء السماوات وملء الأرض وملء ما شئت من شيء بعد، ما زاد على المرة في التسبيح، الركوع التسبيحة الثانية الثالثة وما زاد على ذلك وما زاد على المرة في التسبيح في السجود يعني الثانية والثالثة وما زاد على المرة في قوله بين السجدتين رب اغفر لي رب اغفر لي نعم الصلاة في التشهد الأخير على آل على آله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم عليهم السلام والبركة عليه وعليهم والدعاء بعده نعم نعم the next one is السنن السنن الأفعال وتسمى الهيئات رفع اليدين مع تكبيرة الإحرام وعند الركوع وعند الرفع منه وأحطهما عقب ذلك وضع اليمين على الشمال نظره إلى موضع السجود إلى موضع سجوده آه، تف تفريقته بين قدميه قائما قبض ركبتيه بيديه مفرجة الأصابع في ركوعه ومد ظهره فيه وجعل رأسه حياله تمكين أعضاء السجود من الأرض ومباشرتها لمحل السجود مجافاة عضديه عن جنبيه وبطنه عن فخذيه وفخذيه عن ساقيه وتفريقه بين ركبتيه وإقامة قدميه وجعل بطون أصابعهما على الأرض مفرقة ووضع يديه حذاء منكبيه مبسوطتين مضمومتي الأصابع الافتراش في الجلوس بين السجدتين وفي التشهد الأول والتورك في الثاني ووضع اليدين على الفخذين مبسوطتين مضمومة الأصابع بين السجدتين وكذلك في التشهد إلا أنه يقبض من اليمنى الخنصرة والبنصر ويحلق إبهامها ويحرك ويحرك نعم إبهامها مع الوسطى ويشير بسبابته عند ذكر الله آخر شيء التفاته يمينا وشمالا في تسليمه. So let's get into what they're saying here. So the first thing, as I said, there are certain things from the Sunnahs that you have to say, and also certain things that you have to what action that you have to do. So we'll take the first one, which is known as what the Sunnah al-Qawliya. All right, the first one you have to do, you have to what reciting the opening supplication, which is Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabaraka ismuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk. You see, afterward, it's a sunnah. It's very good that you say it in the, all right, the beginning of the prayer after you've made the takbiratul ihram. And also saying A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Okay, it is also what? It is also a sunnah. And also Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's all sunnah. Very good. We shouldn't leave them. And also saying Ameen. Okay, after you finish with the Al-Fatiha. And also, of course, reciting a surah after Surah Al-Fatiha. So if you suffice with Surah Al-Fatiha alone, you're good. Okay, if you read Surah Al-Fatiha with Surah Al-Ikhlas and any other surah in the Quran, short or long, it's also Sunnah. But Fatiha, as we know, is what is a must. It is a pillar. All right. If you don't read Al-Fatiha, then your prayer is invalid. Reciting the Quran audibly, okay, loudly, but this should be by the Imam. All right. Saying tahmidi, basically when you raise up from bowing, okay, after saying Sami Allahu liman hamida, you can add some what? Mil as-samawati, mil al-ardi, or mil ma shita min shay'in ba'd. All right, fill the heavens, the earth, and whatever else you will. Okay, praising Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. All right, this can be said after you have what said what Sami Allahu liman hamida Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Then you can say this, and also tasbih. Okay, saying Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. You can say it 2 times or 3 times. The one saying it once is a must. All right. Adding that, okay, then that is what Sunnah. Okay. And also saying also Subhana Rabbil A'la is also if you're saying what 2 and 3 times, it's also what Sunnahs. All right. And also between the prostration while sitting down, all right, saying what Rabbi Khfirli, all right. Rabbi Khfirli more than once, more than once. It's same thing that we said with the ruku' and also what the sujood. And also said what? Saying what? Praying upon the Prophet ﷺ, you know, on his and his family. All right. It's also a sunnah. The next one, which are the sunnahs of call what postures, gesture, being action that you have to do. Raising both hands with the opening takbir. You see, as you started, when you started to make your salah, you said, well, Allahu Akbar. You raise both hands. Okay, Allahu Akbar. Okay. Inshallah ta'ala, we probably will look if we can get some images about this, inshallah, if we'll see about that. So, and also what, raising both hand when you're making what, ruku, when you're bowing, all right, when you're bowing, you have to what, raise the hand up, it's also sunnah. And when you're raising up from what, the bound position, you have to what, raise your hand up, it's also sunnah. And also lowering the hands after that, right, it's also sunnah. And also placing what, the right hand over the left, okay, on your chest, all right, it's also sunnah. Very good, things that we shouldn't neglect them. And also when you're praying, you have to make sure that what you're looking at the place you're prostrating. You shouldn't be looking left, right, up and down. No. Sure, what the place that you are prostrating, you have to make sure what your eyes stay there. And also while leaving a gap between the feet while standing. When you stand, don't put your feet tied up. Put it, keep it uh in the keep it stable in the middle. All right. So do that. All right. Don't stretch up too much. Don't ball in too much too. Also gripping what the knees are very important when you're bowing. All right. When you're bowing, all right, you have to make sure you're making ruku. You have both hands with the fingers will spread out. Very important. Don't ball your fingers. Spread them out while you're making what? The bow when you're making ruku or the bowing position. All right. And also make sure what your back is straight. Don't, make it straight. Don't bow too much until it's bent up. Okay. And making one's head in alignment with the back. So your head and your back should be what? On the same length. All right. Resting the organs of prostration on the ground while making sure that all of them touch the ground. Okay, your hand, your nose, your forehead, all of this should be on the ground. All right. Your feet, don't raise them up. All right. You're prostrating to Allah. Make sure everything is down. Humble position. Allahu Akbar. And also keeping the hands away from the sides, the abdomen from the thighs, and the thighs from away from what the legs, keeping what the knees apart, and also keeping the feet erected with the toes separated and their bottom touching the ground, putting the hands in alignment with what the shoulder while being spread out and with the fingers joined. Very important. Yeah. All right. Again, when we are prostrating, we're doing sujood, make sure that what you don't get balled up. That's the whole thing. I'm just showing it here. Make sure what you keep it what in the middle. All right. And also very important what your fingers should be joined in this case. Okay. In ruku, they will spread out here. They should be what joined, and they should be facing what the qibla, the praise that the direction of the prayer. And also very important here, what is known as what iftirash. All right. This here you have to make sure when you're sitting down and the second, all right, between the two prostration and the first tashahhud. So we have to sit in a position that is known as what? Iftirash, meaning that what? You have to place the left foot on its side and sitting on it, keeping with the right foot erected while resting on the bottom of the toe of the toes facing the Qibla. And again, yeah, after the fourth, the last sitting that we're doing before we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, so before we say Taslim, we have to sit in a sitting that what known as what? Tawarruk. Tawarruk means basically, all right, here you have to what sit with the left posterior on the ground, okay? All right, make sure what that part is on the ground and the right foot erected with the toes pointing towards the Qibla. And the left foot on the side, imagine up under the right foot. All right, this is the last tashahhud. And also the last one, the second to last one, we'll look at here, say what, putting the hands spread out on the thighs with the fingers joined together with what, the prostration, and during what? And during tashahhud. All right. However, okay, so the latter may what one may cling and the little and the ring fingers to the right hand, make a ring with the thumb and middle fingers and points in the with the index finger when mentioning again. This here I'm making what that last tashahhud. All right. So here you join the fingers and your hand. All right. All of your fingers should be what? You put them together and your index fingers, okay, the one that you point with, okay, should be what mentioning Allah with that, and also while at the same time what making sure that what it is what shaking. All right. The last thing is what turning what the face to the right and then to the left when making taslim, when you're saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you have to first what start with what? Definitely you have to start with the right, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and then Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All right, then in that way, what you have what got all of the sunnah. And Allah knows best, inshallah ta'ala. Stop here next week, inshallah. We'll continue with our reminders on the fiqh about the prayer, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. وبارك فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Inshallah, for any of these questions about what we have spoken of, any clarification, inshallah, you can reach out to us through our email, Arabic Islamic class, inshallah ta'ala, reach out to us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.